Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. Today, we've got a major rumor heating up in the NHL world, one that has the potential to shake the foundations of the Toronto Maple Leafs roster as we know it. Speculation is swirling about a blockbuster trade that could bring none other than Erik Karlsson to Toronto. Just a year ago, he put up a jaw-dropping 101 points with the San Jose Sharks as a defenseman. That season earned him the third Norris Trophy of his career, proving he's still an impact player when healthy and properly utilized. After being traded to Pittsburgh in the 2023 offseason, the expectations were he was supposed to be the final piece to help the Penguins re-enter serious contention alongside Crosby, Malkin, and Letang. It's about fundamentally changing the identity of their defense. It's about giving the team a puck-moving, playmaking weapon who can dictate the pace of the game and stretch the ice with his vision and skating. And yes, it is also about keeping up with other top teams in the East that are only getting better. But the Penguins didn't make the playoffs. And now, with a bit of cap tightness and a need to retool rather than rebuild, there's growing chatter that they may be open to moving Karlsson again. Karlsson is a player who thrives when he has the freedom to roam, jump into the rush, and take chances. But this is a team that already has a leadership core in place, with Matthews, Tavares, Marner, and really would Karlsson blend in seamlessly? Or would his presence disrupt that balance? It's impossible to know for sure, but given his personality and experience, many believe he'd be an asset in the room. That comes with risk. He's not a shutdown guy. He's not going to sit back and block shots all night. Karlsson could quarterback that unit in a way that few others can. His ability to find seams, shoot through traffic, and create movement from the point could take Toronto's special teams to a new level. The Leafs front office, led by GM Brad Treliving, has made it clear they want to build a tougher, more complete team, one that's ready for the grind of spring hockey. Whether it's today, next week, or just a dream that fades into the background, the idea of Erik Karlsson wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey is one that's too fascinating to ignore. Keep your eyes on the wire, your ears on the insiders, and your fingers crossed, because if this trade does happen, it could be the story of the season. If they believe Karlsson can be part of that vision, don't be surprised if they make the call. It would signal to the league that Toronto isn't just content with regular season success, that they're willing to take risks, that they're going all in. Imagine a power play with Matthews in the circle, Nylander on the wall, Marner rotating through the slot, and Karlsson feeding them all from the point. It's dangerous, it's unpredictable, and it could be the missing piece come playoff time. He's going to look for that stretch pass. He's going to carry the puck through the neutral zone. Karlsson's injury history is well documented. His skating and offensive instincts have aged well, but the physical wear and tear over the years can't be ignored. If the Leafs make this trade, and he misses significant time, the backlash would be immediate. Fans are already on edge with the team's inability to make deep playoff runs. Management can't afford to make a move of this scale and have it blow up in their face. He's going to take risks offensively, and with those risks come defensive liabilities. Would Toronto's coaching staff, currently led by Craig Berube, allow Karlsson the freedom he needs to play his game? No insiders claiming a deal is imminent, but the chatter is growing. NHL insiders are starting to mention the Leafs more frequently when discussing Karlsson's name. Toronto fans are buzzing on social media, and where there's smoke, there's often fire. Or would they try to mold him into a more conservative role, even with Pittsburgh potentially retaining some salary? Toronto would have to make serious adjustments to fit him under the cap. This would almost certainly mean moving one or more roster players or sending contracts the other way. That's right, Karlsson, the elite offensive defenseman currently with the Pittsburgh Penguins, is at the center of discussions that could make him the newest addition to the blue and white. Others point to players like Kale Jarocrock, or even a younger asset like Nick Robertson, though the team has been hesitant to give up on him due to his potential. A larger, more dramatic version of this deal might even involve someone like Timothy Liljegren or prospect Fraser Mead. And of course, draft picks, especially first-round picks, would be expected to sweeten the deal. Now, let's break this all down. First off, who is Erik Karlsson today, and why would the Leafs be interested in making a move of this magnitude? Kyle Dubas, who is now running the show in Pittsburgh and is obviously very familiar with the Leafs organization, would want a fair return for a player of Karlsson's stature, even if retention is involved. Could Dubas look to reacquire players he previously drafted or signed in Toronto? Maybe. The ties between these two clubs, thanks to Dubas, do make this scenario more plausible than most would think. But year after year, the postseason comes, and the team struggles to find the right mix on the blue line. Last season, their defensive core, while capable, was not dynamic. There was no game breaker, no true power play quarterback who could consistently drive the play from the back end. Morgan Rielly did what he could and stepped up in the playoffs, but he can't do it all alone. Karlsson, at 34 years old, is still one of the most offensively gifted defensemen in the game. Enter the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto is in a unique situation. They have one of the strongest offensive cores in the NHL, with players like Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and John Tavares. That's where the Karlsson rumor gets really interesting. The idea of adding Karlsson to the Leafs lineup by SNT, just about boosting the power play or adding another star name to the roster. Now, the logistics of such a move are anything but simple. Karlsson carries a massive cap, hit $11.5 million, AAV, signed through the 2026 to 2027 season. Some speculate that the Leafs could part ways with TJ Brodie, who has 1 year left on his deal and carries a cap hit of $5 million. On Pittsburgh's end, they would likely be asking for assets that help them stay competitive, while also balancing their long-term future. But we also have to talk about the fit both in terms of style and personality. There's also the leadership dynamic. Karlsson is a veteran. He's been a captain before. He's played on big stages. And let's not forget the power play. The Leafs' top unit has been good but not as dominant as you'd expect given the names on it. Still, with every bold move, there are risks. On the flip side, if Karlsson stays healthy and thrives, this trade could be remembered as the move that finally got the Leafs over the hump. So where does this all stand now? At this point, it's speculation. No confirmed reports. This could be nothing more than talk. Or it could be the early stages of a trade that would dominate headlines across the hockey world. In the meantime, all we can do is wait and watch. So buckle up, Leafs fans.